Okay, now we'll see the third case of heat conduction with heat generation in plane slabs. So third case is when one of the face is insulated. So what do we mean by insulated? There will be no heat transfer from one of the face. So let's say this is our plane slab. Again the thickness, let's say it is L, thermal conductivity is K, and area of cross section is A, or the area of heat transfer. Now we are considering that one of the face is insulated, right? So let's say left face is insulated. So insulated means there will be no heat transfer from this face. So from here Q will be equal to 0, right? And there is a uniform heat generation also. So again, with our physical intuition we can tell, if some heat is getting generated in this plane slab, we are considering the heat transfer only in one direction, right? And that also one of the face is insulated. So the heat is that is getting generated, it cannot leave this plane slab from this face, the left face. Let's say this is the left face at x equal to 0. From here we are taking x. So at x equal to 0, the heat transfer will be 0. There will be no heat transfer from this left face. So whatever heat is getting generated, it should leave from this right face only, right? So it is comparatively an easier case. So what are the conditions here? As from left face, this heat transfer due to conduction is 0. So what is that heat transfer? Q equal to minus Ka dt by dx at x equal to 0. So this will give the heat transfer from left face, right? Now this left face heat transfer is 0. See, this K cannot be 0. The area cannot be equal to 0. So this dt by dx at x equal to 0 will be equal to 0. So dt by dx at x equal to 0, and this value should be equal to 0, right? So this will become our first boundary condition. And let's say this right face, as usual, it is maintained at temperature T2. We can take any temperature T1 or something else, but to denote this right face we always take T2. So here also we are taking T2 only. So this is the right face, and here x is equal to L, correct? So second boundary condition will be what? So this was the first boundary condition. At x equal to 0, this dt by dx value will be equal to 0. Second boundary condition can be at x equal to L, t equal to T2, right? So we already know the equations of dt by dx and temperature profile. So I am just writing it, I am not integrating it again. So it will be dt by dx equal to minus qg by k into x plus c1, right? And for temperature it will be T equal to minus qg by 2k into x square plus c1x plus c2, correct? So this is the equation for temperature profile. Now we can put these boundary conditions into these two equations. So what do we get? Let's see. So first boundary condition is what? dt by dx at x equal to 0 is equal to 0. So let's take this first one equation first. So this dt by dx value, it will be equal to 0, right? So this dt by dx is 0 equal to x is 0. So this term will also become 0, and there will be c1. So from here we get c1 will be equal to 0, right? Now put the second boundary condition. So it is in terms of temperature. So we will use this equation. So what do we get? In place of T we will write T2. So T2 will be equal to, in place of x we have to write L. So minus qg by 2k into L square plus C1 is 0, so plus C2 will be there. So from here you can get the equation of this C2, and it will be equal to T2 plus Qg L square by 2k, correct? And one more important point that we have missed here, see, at this location there is no heat transfer, right? So there will be accumulation of heat, and we know when this dt by dx is 0, which is the slope of temperature profile, there the temperature must be maximum, right? So because at this location at x equal to 0, the dt by dx is 0, the temperature of this location will be maximum. So this will be T max, right? So for this case, x max is equal to how much? Is equal to 0. So we do not need to calculate this x max value. From our physical intuition only we can tell that because this at this phase there is no heat transfer, the dt by dx value is 0, and whenever the dt by dx value is 0, the temperature will be maximum there. Or we can say there is no heat transfer from this left phase, so there will be maximum accumulation of heat, so the temperature will be maximum here, right? So this is how we can calculate this. So let's put this value of C2 here and we will get this temperature profile. So we will get T equal to minus Qg by 2k into x square. So minus Qg by 2k into x square. C1 is 0 and C2 is plus T2 plus Qg L square by 2k. Right, now T2 take here. So T2 plus Qg by 2k we can take outside because it is common. So it will become L square minus x square. Right, so this is the temperature profile in this third case. Okay, so the important points are just the physical intuitions that we are making in this case. The other things, just by putting the boundary conditions you can get the equations right, but these are the most important thing that you have to understand, that if there is insulation in this phase, in the left phase, the dt by dx will be 0 there and temperature will be maximum. These are the most important points in this question. Now we will see the energy balance for this. So let's see the energy balance for this third case. So here we can tell what will be the total heat generation in this plane slab. It will be equal to Qg into area into length, right? And whatever heat is getting generated, that should leave from this right face only, right? So what will be the value of this conduction through right face? Because due to conduction it will leave, the heat will leave this right face of this plane slab. So it will be equal to minus Ka dt by dx at x equal to L, because at right face this x is equal to L only, right? Now you can consider some convection also. So let's say on this side there is some fluid which is having heat transfer coefficient H, and temperature of this fluid, let's say it is T infinity. So the same amount of heat will get convected to this fluid also. So we can write this is equal to H into area into T2, which is the temperature of this right face, minus T infinity. Right, so this is the energy balance for this third case. Okay, now we will solve a problem of this heat generation through plane slabs. So the question is, heat is generated uniformly in a plate having thermal conductivity equal to 20 watt per meter Kelvin. The thickness of the plate is 1 centimeter and heat generation rate is 500 megawatt per meter cube. If two surfaces are maintained at 200 degrees Celsius and 100 degrees Celsius respectively, then find the temperature at the center of the plate, the position and the maximum value of temperature. Next, the heat transfer at left and right face, and lastly sketch the temperature distribution. So this is the case, the second case, when the both surfaces are maintained at two different temperatures. So I have given you all the procedure, all the concepts. So first you try this, and then if you are not able to solve, then see the solution, and if you are able to solve also, then also see the solution, because you can gain some more knowledge. So let's solve this problem. So he is saying there is a plain slab which is having a thermal conductivity of 20 watt per meter Kelvin. So let's say it is a plain slab, and thermal conductivity for this plain slab is given as 20, right? Its thickness is given as 1 centimeter, I guess. Yeah, heat generation is 500 megawatt per meter cube, and thickness of the plate is 1 centimeter. So this is a very thin plate, so it is having a thickness of 1 centimeter. So at left face, let's say this is the direction of x, so here x will be equal to 0, and here x will be equal to, let's say we are writing in meter, so it will be 0.01 meter, right? And the heat generation value, that is small qg, is 500 megawatt per meter cube, right? So this is the value of heat generation, and temperatures are given as 200 and 100. So say this left face he has given, it is maintained at 200 degrees Celsius, and the right face is maintained at 100 degrees Celsius, right? So let's write thermal conductivity here. So K is equal to 20. So this is the problem, and he is first asking the temperature at the center of the plate, right? To calculate the temperature at any location of this plate, we need to develop an expression for temperature profile. Now, as I have told you, don't remember the temperature profile for each case, because there are 3 cases. You may end up confusing and you will not able to solve the question in examination. So just be with the basics. So what are the basic equation? We have 2 basic equations here, which come by integrating the generalized equation, and these 2 basic equation you can remember. They are easy also. So first equation is dt by dx is equal to minus qg by k into x plus c1, right? And second one is the temperature equation, and it is equal to minus qg by 2k into x square plus c1x plus c2, right? So as I told you, based on the question you can put the boundary conditions and you can calculate each and everything. So here what are the boundary conditions? First boundary condition is at x equal to 0, temperature is 200, and at x equal to 0.01, temperature is 100 degrees Celsius, right? So let's do this. So at x equal to 0, the temperature is 200, so it will become 200 equal to, so this will be 0, this will be 0, it will become C2. So see how fast you are moving. In just fraction of seconds you can just calculate the value of C2, and C2 is equal to 200. So there is no need to remember the equations. Second boundary condition, apply it at x equal to 0.01, temperature is 100. So second boundary condition will be, so temperature will be 100 equal to minus qg. So minus qg value is 500, and because K is given in watt per meter Kelvin, so unit of K is watt per meter Kelvin, that's why this qg value also you will take in watt per meter cube only. You cannot take this in megawatt, because the units should be consistent. So 500 into 10 to the power 6. To convert this megawatt into watt, you will multiply with 10 to the power 6 divided by 2 into 20, which is the thermal conductivity value, multiplied by x value is 0.01. So it will be 0.01 whole square plus C1 into x. So C1 multiplied by 0.01 plus C2. So C2 value is 200, right? Now there is only one unknown, that is the C1, the constant, first constant. So when you calculate this, you will get C1 as 115,000. So C1 value we are getting as 115,000, right? Now when you have calculated this C1 and C2 value, you have got the temperature profile. So temperature profile will be what? Minus Qg value is 500 into 10 power 6 into x square divided by 2 into K will be 40 plus C1 value is 115,000 into x plus C2 value is how much? It is 200. See, now in this temperature profile there is only one unknown, which is x, right? So this is the temperature profile in terms of x. Okay. Now the first question that he is asking, temperature at the center of plate. So if you put x, the value of x, you will get the temperature at that location. For example, if you put x equal to 0, what do you get? This term will become 0, this term will become 0, and you will get 200 because temperature here is 200. Similarly, if you will put x equal to 0.01, by putting these values of x equal to 0.01, you are going to get T equal to 100. Right? Similarly, if you will put x, any value of x, you will get the temperature at that location. This is the meaning of this temperature profile. Now he is asking us to calculate temperature at the center of the plate. So what is the center of this plate? What will be the value of x at the center of the plate? It will be 0.01 by 2 because it will be L by 2. Right? L value is 0.01. So we want to calculate temperature at x equal to L by 2, which is nothing but 0.01 by 2 and which will be equal to 0.005 meter. Correct? So this is our question. We have to calculate this temperature at x equal to 0.005 meter. Now just put this value here, the x value here, and you will get the temperature. So temperature at x equal to L by 2, when you put the value in this equation, you will get the answer as 462.5. So let me just put the value. So it will be T equal to, or T at L by 2 equal to, so it will be minus 500 into 10 power 6 multiplied by x square. So x will be 0.005 square divided by 2 into 20 plus C1 value is 115,000 into x is 0.005 plus C2 value is 200. So just calculate this and you will get T at x equal to L by 2, which is the mid thickness, as 462.5 degrees Celsius. Correct? So this is our first answer. So see how easy these kind of questions are once you have gone through all the procedure. Right? So just remember the procedure, and heat generation questions are really very easy. Second point, he is asking the position and the maximum value of temperature. So position means the x max value he is asking. So he is asking at what location the temperature will be maximum. Let's say this is the location of maximum temperature, then this is given by x max. Right? So he is asking this value of x max as well as the T max value. So how do we do that? We know the procedure for finding the max x max is equate this dt by dx to 0, because if temperature is maximum, this slope of this temperature profile is going to be 0. So what is dt by dx value? It is minus qg by k into x plus c1. So it will become minus qg, which is 500 into 10 power 6 by k, which is 20 into x. So this will be become x max that we want to calculate, plus c1. c1 is 115,000 equal to 0. Right? So just do the side change and you will get the value of this x max, and x max you will get as 4.6 into 10 power minus 3 meter. So there is only one unknown, right? So you can easily calculate that, and you will get it as 4.6 into 10 power minus 3 meter, or it will be equal to 0.467 centimeter. Right? So because total width is 1 centimeter, this mid length will be 0.5 centimeter, and just before this 0.5 it will be 0.46 centimeter. Right? So write down this value. So this is 0.46 centimeter and the L by 2 value is 0.5 centimeter. So as we have derived, in case if this temperature is higher than this temperature, then this maximum temperature approaches just before this L by 2. So it is coming as less than L by 2. So here also we can write X max is less than L by 2. Right? So this was the second problem. Now third one he is asking, okay, we have to calculate the maximum temperature also, right? So how can we calculate this maximum temperature? Just put this value of X in meters, mind it, always we have to take this value in meters. This centimeter just I have given to feel the value, because this thickness is given in centimeter. So just to take a feel I have written it is 0.46 centimeter, but always put the values in meters. So in this temperature profile, put the value of X as 4.6 into 10 power minus 3 meter, and you will get the maximum temperature value, because you are putting the X max value in this temperature profile. So let's do that. So T will be equal to minus 500 into 10 power 6 divided by, it will be 40 multiplied by 4.6 into 10 power minus 3 whole square plus 115,000 into 4.6 into 10 power minus 3 plus 200. Right? So when you do this, you will get this T max value as 464.5. So T max value will be 464.5 degrees Celsius. Right? So this is the maximum temperature that will occur in this plane slab. Okay. Now as we have got the values of temperature, let's plot the temperature profile first. So he is asking this at the end of this question, but let's do this first, because now we have in the board all the temperature values. So this temperature is 200. So let's say this is 200 degrees Celsius. And what is the temperature, the maximum temperature? It is 464. So let's say this one is 464.5, right? And one more temperature we have calculated, that is at X equal to L by 2, which is this location. This is the L by 2 and it is 462.5. So let's say it is somewhere here, 462.5. So how will be the temperature profile? It will first go like this and then it will start decreasing. Right? So at X equal to L by 2, the temperature is 462.5 and it is maximum at X equal to 4.6 into 10 power minus 3 meter. So this value is X max. Correct? Now he is asking heat transfer at left and right phase. So how can we calculate this heat transfer at left, at right phase? See, in the next part he is asking the heat transfer at left and at right phase. So we know the equation of heat transfer is minus K into A into dt by dx. So if he is asking to calculate this heat transfer at left phase, let's say Q left, then the dt by dx value will take at x equal to 0, right? So let's calculate this dt by dx value at x equal to 0. So this is the equation of dt by dx, and we know the constant C1 is 115,000. So let's calculate this dt by dx at x equal to 0. So it will become minus qg by k into x will become 0, so plus C1. So you will get this dt by dx at x equal to 0 as C1, and C1 value is how much? It is 115,000. So dt by dx at x equal to 0 will be 115,000, which is equal to C1, and the unit of dt by dx is Kelvin per meter, right, because this is temperature difference divided by distance. So now just put this value of dt by dx in this equation and you will get the heat transfer. So as area is not given, we will calculate this heat transfer per unit area. So K value is 20, so minus 20 into area we have taken as 1 into 115,000. So this heat transfer from left phase, you will get the value as minus 2.3 megawatt per meter square. So this Q left will be minus 2.3 megawatt, and because we have calculated this in per unit area, it will be per meter square, right. And what does this negative sign signifies? The heat transfer is in a direction which is opposite to this x, right. So this is the direction of heat transfer, and it is equal to 2.3 megawatt per meter square from this left phase. Okay. Now let's calculate the heat transfer from the right phase. See, before coming to right phase, let's try to calculate this Q from left phase with another method. If you remember, while deriving those equations for plane slabs, heat generation in plane slabs, when both the surfaces are different temperatures, we wrote the energy balance equation, right. And what was that energy balance equation? First we took this left hand side and we wrote Qg into L into area into X max will be equal to minus Ka dt by dx from left phase, that is x equal to 0, right. So this value is nothing but Q left, correct. Now from this equation also we should get the same value of 2.3 megawatt per meter square. So let's calculate this, because Q left we have calculated this value and this is coming as 2.3 megawatt per meter square, right. We are just interested in magnitude, forget about minus and plus here, because we are just trying to see this if this equation is correct. Now this Qg value is how much? It is 500 into 10 power 6 and unit is megawatt per meter cube, right. Multiplied by area will take 1 because we want to calculate per meter square. So this X max value is how much? It is 4.6 into 10 to the power minus 3 and unit is meter, right. So when you multiply these two values, you can try this and you will get it as 2.3 only, right. And what will be the unit? This meter and this meter cube will get cancelled out and you will be remaining with meter square. So it will megawatt per meter square. So what is the meaning here? 2.3 megawatt per meter square of heat was generated in the left hand part of this. So left hand part from this X max value. So 2.3 megawatt per meter square was generated here, and that same value of heat is leaving by conduction through this left phase, right. So this energy balance equation is true to us. Okay. If you want to see this value in megawatt per meter cube also, then you can divide this value with the length, it will become megawatt per meter cube. So that value you will get as 2.3 divided by 0.01, so that will be 230. So it can be equal to 230 megawatt per meter cube, because we are dividing this with length. So out of total 500, 230 was getting generated in the left hand side, right. So this is the slab, this is the left hand side. So 230 is getting generated on the left hand side. So obviously 270 should generate on the right hand side, that we will see when you solve this for right hand side. Okay, so for right hand side what we will do? Okay, now let's see for right hand side. So we want to calculate Q right. So what will be the equation? It will be minus Ka dt by dx at x equal to L, and L is equal to 0.01 meter. So first we have to calculate this dt by dx value at x equal to L, and it will be equal to minus Qg by K into x. So it will be minus 500 into 10 power 6 divided by K, which is 2, into L 0.01 plus C1 is 115,000. So this value you will get 135,000 minus 135,000 Kelvin per meter, right? So this will be dt by dx at x equal to L. So these things you can do. Now you can calculate this the heat transfer through right phase. So it will be equal to minus Ka dt by dx at x equal to L. So just put the values. It is 20. In place of area you have to take 1, and in place of dt by dx put this value minus 135,000. So you will get this Q from right phase or from x equal to L, and it is equal to 2.7 megawatt per meter square, right? So from this right phase, this much amount of heat is getting rejected. So it is 2.7 megawatt per meter square. From the heat balance equation also we can see this value. So from energy balance, see, I am telling you the different methods. You can follow which one you can prefer, right? So this one should be preferred because you can easily calculate this dt by dx values. But just to prove this energy balance correct, we are doing this. So energy balance will be Qg into area into L minus X max must be equal to this value, which is minus Ka dt by dx at x equal to L. So this value we have already calculated, and this is coming as 2.7 megawatt per meter square. This value also you can calculate. So it will be 500 into 10 power 6 into area. In place of area you write 1. So it will be 0.01 minus 4.6 into 10 power minus 3. And when you calculate this also you will get as 2.7 megawatt per meter square. And if you want to write down this in terms of megawatt per meter cube, then just divide it with the length and it will become 270 megawatt per meter cube. So 230 megawatt per meter cube was getting generated from the left hand side, and 270 megawatt per meter cube was getting generated from the right hand side, and that's why this much amount of heat is leaving from left hand side and this much amount of heat is leaving from right hand side. So this 230 and 270 I have written because 500 is given in megawatt per meter cube. So from left phase how much heat is leaving? It is 2.3 megawatt per meter square, right? This 230 multiplied by the total length. So you will get in megawatt per meter square, and this is 2.7 megawatt per meter square, right? So this is how we will calculate this, and the answer is from left phase this much amount of heat is leaving, and from right phase this much amount of heat is leaving, right? And we have drawn the temperature profile also. Okay, let's see one more problem of this heat generation. So the question is, a plain wall of 0.1 meter thickness, thermal conductivity equal to 25 watt per meter Kelvin, has a uniform heat generation of 0.3 megawatt per meter cube and is insulated on one side and is exposed to fluid at 92 degrees Celsius. The convective heat transfer coefficient between wall and fluid is 500 watt per meter square Kelvin. Now he is asking find maximum temperature in the wall, temperature at the surface exposed to fluid, and temperature profile. So this problem is from the third case, that is one end is insulated. So let's say this is our plain slab. He is saying one of the end of this plain slab is insulated. So let's say this end is insulated, right? And thickness of this plain slab he has given as 0.1 meter. So thickness is 0.1 meter. The thermal conductivity he has given as 25. So K value is 25 watt per meter Kelvin. And the heat generation value he has given 0.3 megawatt per meter cube. So this small QG value is 0.3 megawatt per meter cube. Right? Now he has given that other end is exposed to fluid at 92 degrees Celsius. So here some fluid is there and the heat transfer coefficient, the convective heat transfer coefficient is given as 500 watt per meter square Kelvin, and temperature of this fluid, let's say T infinity, is 92 degrees Celsius. Okay, so these are the given data, and then he is asking the maximum temperature in the wall. So we already know at what location the maximum temperature will be maximum. It will at this left end, the insulated end. So here will be T maximum. So he is asking what will be this T maximum, as well as he is asking temperature at surface exposed to fluid. So let's say this is the surface which is exposed to fluid and temperature is T2. So he is asking T2 temperature and he is asking to draw the temperature profile. Right? So how can we approach this problem? See, in this problem this T2 temperature is not given. Right? So here we will use the energy balance equation because here temperature is unknown. So by energy balance equation we can easily find out this temperature T2. So as we have discussed in this case, the case in which one phase is insulated, whatever heat that is generated in this plain slab, that should leave from this right phase only, right? So whatever heat is generated, it will leave from the right phase only because from the left phase it is insulated, correct? Now what will be the amount of heat generated, the total heat generated in this plain slab? It will be equal to 0.3 into volume, right? So total heat generated will be Qg into area into the length of this or the thickness of this plain slab, which is 0.1, correct? Now this is the amount of heat generated and this must be dissipated from the right end of this plain slab, and that heat should be carried to this fluid also, right? So can we write this heat generation will be equal to convective heat transfer coefficient of fluid into A into T2 minus T infinity, correct or not? So whatever heat is getting generated, it must leave by conduction to this right phase, and that amount of heat will go to this fluid also by convection. So as the convective heat transfer coefficient and temperature of fluid are given, I have taken this convection is equal to heat generation, right? Now just put the values, this area will get cancelled. Qg value is given as 0.3 megawatt, so it will be into 10 power 6 multiplied by 0.1 is equal to, in place of H we will write 500, T2 minus T infinity is 92, right? So just T2 is the unknown here and you can calculate this. So you will get T2 minus 92 and this value you will get as 60, right? So T2 will be 60 plus 92, so it will be 152 degrees Celsius. Okay, so just by heat balance we have calculated this value of T2. Right. Now next part he is asking is temperature, maximum temperature in the wall. So first we have calculated the second question, that is the temperature of the surface exposed to fluid. Now we will see the maximum temperature in this wall. So for this maximum temperature we have to use that generalized equation. Right. So what is our generalized equation? From our generalized equation we have derived that dt by dx is equal to minus qg by k into x plus c1, right, and by integrating this we get t equal to minus qg by 2k into x square plus c1x plus c2, correct, c1x plus c2. Now in this case we know at x equal to 0, let us say this is x equal to 0, at x equal to 0 the temperature is maximum, so at that place the dt by dx value is 0. So just the routine procedure that we have done, we have to repeat it again and we will get the answer. So dt by dx at x equal to 0 it will be equal to 0. So put this value of dt by dx equal to 0, so what do we get? C1 will be equal to 0 because minus qg by k, this term will become 0 because x is 0 and C1 will get 0, right. So this temperature profile will become like this, it will be minus qg by 2k into x square, C1 we have got as 0, so it will be equal to C2. Now at this x equal to L, what is the temperature? We have calculated this temperature T2 is equal to 152. So we can use this boundary condition here. So at x equal to L, T2 equal to 152 degree Celsius or T equal to 152, right. So we can write here 152 will be equal to minus qg into, in place of x we will write L square by 2k plus C2. Now this qg value is known, it is 0.3 into 10 power 6. L value is known, it is the thickness which is 0.1 meter. Thermal conductivity is known to us, it is 25. So only unknown is C2, and solve this and you will get this C2 as 212, right. So this constant is 212. Okay. So now this temperature profile will become like what? It will be T equal to minus qg by 2k into x square plus 212, correct. Now from this equation you can easily get the Tmax value. So at Tmax value, what is the value of x? It is x equal to 0. So if you want to calculate this Tmax, it will be equal to, in place of x you have to write 0. So this will be equal to just 212, or Tmax is equal to C2, where C2 value is 212, right. So this is our final answer. So in the figure also we can write this Tmax value is 212 and this T2 value is how much? 152. Now he is asking us to draw the temperature profile, so it is easy, it is a parabolic profile. So you can draw this like this. But here be careful, the temperature at any location should not be higher than this Tmax, right. So you cannot draw this like this, because then you are saying that at this location the temperature is greater than this. But it is not possible that, because it is the maximum temperature here at x equal to 0. So you have to draw this parabolic, but be careful, no temperature should be greater than this temperature. This is the maximum temperature in this plane slab. Okay, now we have finished the heat generation in plane slabs. Now we will see cylinders with heat generation. So this is very important topic, especially the solid cylinder. So from solid cylinder heat generation, in GATE examination they are asking questions, right. So we will try to understand all the equations. We will try to derive all the equations. So cylinders with heat generation. So first of all, we will write down all the assumptions. So assumptions are same, like there is a steady state heat transfer, one dimensional heat transfer, a homogeneous material, right, uniform heat generation, okay. So these are the assumptions, and based on these assumptions we have derived the generalized formula for conduction in cylinders, right. So what is that generalized formula? It is equal to 1 by R into del by del R in bracket R del T by del R plus Qg by K equal to 0, right. So based on these assumptions, this is the generalized equation for cylinders, right, heat conduction through cylinders. Now based on this equation, we are going to develop an equation for temperature profile and temperature gradient in cylinders, okay. So for that we will just integrate this equation twice like we did in plane slab, and we will get the equation of temperature profile and temperature gradient. So first do the side change, so it will become del by del R into R del T by del R is equal to minus Qg by K, and this R will come here. So minus Qg into R divided by K, right. So now we can start the integration. On first integration, what do we get? So this del by del R we are integrating with respect to R, so it will become R del T by del R will be equal to minus Qg by K is a constant, and integration of R in terms of R will be R square by 2, and there will be some constant C1, right. Now this R you can take here, so it will go on denominator, so this R square will become only R and it will become C1 by R, fine. So this is first equation, this is equation of del T by del R. On first integration we have arrived to the del T by del R equation. Now let's integrate once again, so it will become T is equal to minus Qg, so it will be minus Qg by 2K into integration of R, again it will become R square by 2 plus C1 into integration of 1 by R will be what? It will be logarithmic R, ln R, right, natural log of R plus C2, one more constant, right. Now just rearrange this, so it will become T equal to minus Qg into R square divided by 4K plus C1 ln R plus C2, right. So this is the equation of temperature profile. So we have got the equation of temperature profile, and this temperature profile for valid for any cylinder. By any cylinder I mean this is valid for solid cylinder as well as the hollow cylinder, okay. For solid and hollow both this equation is valid. So first we will take the solid cylinder, okay. So in cylindrical coordinates with heat generation we have got these two formulas, del T by del R equal to minus Qg R by 2K plus C1 by R, and temperature formula is minus Qg R square by 4K C1 ln R plus C2. So this formula you can remember because this is the generalized formula, or if you can remember the generalized equation, then just by integration you can get this formula. So anyone you can do. In fact, you have to remember the generalized equation because sometimes they have asked this problem So straightforward, they have asked the generalized equation only. So you have to remember that, and it is on your choice. If you will remember, you can save some time. Okay, so these are the formulas. Now we will discuss first this solid cylinder. Okay, solid cylinder we will discuss. So let's say there is a cylinder, the solid cylinder, and its radius, the outer radius is capital R, and let's say the temperature of the surface of this solid cylinder is Ts. So this outer surface of this solid cylinder is maintained at a temperature Ts. The radius of this solid cylinder is capital R, and let's say we are taking a small r as a variable. So at whatever radius we want to calculate temperature or anything, we'll denote that by small r. So at surface, what will be the value of this small r? This small r will be equal to capital R, right? So small r can take any value from 0 to capital R. Okay, so this is our solid cylinder. Now our physical intuition again can tell us that this whole amount of heat in this solid cylinder that is generated, that will get out or that will dissipated through this outer surface only, right? Because from inner surface there will be no heat dissipation, like we discussed in plane slabs with both surfaces at same temperature. So there was heat dissipation from left face and right face. So in the middle section the temperature was maximum. Similarly here at R equal to R, as there is no heat dissipation, at R equal to 0, there is no heat dissipation or heat conduction, because it is the center of this, or it is the core of the cylinder. So here dt by dr value must be equal to 0, and temperature will be maximum at the center of the cylinder because no heat is getting dissipated from there. So let's put this first boundary condition. This will become our first boundary condition, and you can use this equation, first equation, in this boundary condition, right? So del T by del R will be equal to 0, equal to, we have kept R equal to 0, so from here itself you will get C1 equal to 0, right? So this was our first boundary condition, and we have got this C1 equal to 0, and due to this C1 equal to 0, the temperature formula will become what? It will be T equal to minus Qg by 4K into R square plus C2 only, correct? So this is our temperature equation in case of solid cylinder. Now we can put the another boundary equation at small r equal to capital R, that is R equal to R. The temperature is equal to surface temperature, that is Ts, right? So by using this boundary condition we will get here Ts will be equal to minus Qg by 4K. In place of R we will write capital R square plus C2. So what will be CT value from here? C2 will be equal to Ts plus this Qg by 4K into capital R square. So we have got the values of C1 and C2. Now by putting this values of C2 and C1 in this temperature profile, in this temperature equation, we will get the temperature profile for this solid cylinder. So what do we get? So T will be equal to minus Qg by 4K R square. So minus Qg by 4K small r square plus C1 is 0, so that term will vanish, then there is C2. So it will be Ts plus Qg by 4K into capital R square, correct? So rearrange this equation, what do we get? So we will get T equal to, take Ts first, so T equal to Ts plus, so Qg by 4K can be taken common, so it will be Qg by 4K multiplied by, this will be r square minus r square. Okay, so this is the temperature profile for which kind of cylinder? This is for solid cylinder only, because we have derived this equation based on the boundary conditions which are applicable to solid cylinder, because this is a solid cylinder, this is not a hollow cylinder. But this temperature profile is a generalized temperature profile and it is valid for solid as well as for hollow. So in case of cylinders there are only two cases, either solid and hollow, and this solid is important from the gate point of view, right? So I will suggest you, to save your time, you should remember this equation, because there are not many cases in cylinders. In plane slabs there were 3 cases, so remembering each and every equation becomes very difficult. But in cylinders there is only one case, that is solid cylinder. For hollow cylinder I will just give you the boundary equations. For solid cylinder you have to remember these equations, right? So temperature profile is T equal to Ts plus Qg by 4K into r square minus small r square. Correct? So we have derived the temperature equation for a solid cylinder. Now we will see the energy balance in this solid cylinder. Right, so let me remove this. Okay, so let's see the energy balance in this solid cylinder. So the heading is energy balance. Energy balance. Okay, so we know whatever heat that is getting generated inside this volume of solid cylinder, that must get dissipated. And from which area this can be dissipated? As it cannot be dissipated from the internal surface, right? So here it cannot be dissipated, so all the heat that is generated, it will get dissipated from the external surface itself. For example, if this was a hollow cylinder, then from this surface also the heat can be dissipated, right? And from this surface also the heat can be dissipated. But it is not a hollow cylinder, so here only from the outer surface the heat is going to be dissipated. So we will balance the heat generated and heat dissipated, right? So what will be the heat generated in this case? It will be Qg, that is the heat generated per unit volume, so multiplied by volume, so it will be into area into the length of the cylinder, right? So Qg into area into L equal to, let's say this heat gets dissipated from the outer surface by conduction. So due to the conductive heat transfer, what will be the equation? It will be Ka into dt by dr, right? Because here heat transfer is in r direction, in plane slabs it was in x direction, right? So we have taken r. Now my question is, can we cancel these two areas? Is it possible to cancel these two areas as we did in plane slabs? The answer is no. Why, sir? Because this area is the cross sectional area and this area is the surface area, right? What is the meaning? See, if we are calculating the volume of this cylinder, then you will take the cross sectional area multiplied by the length. Correct or not? So this is the cross sectional area AC, and when you multiply with length AC into L, it will give you the volume, right? And for a cylinder, what is this cross sectional area? We can write Qg into pi into r square into L. So this is our cross sectional area. But the area of heat transfer, the area of conduction, so through which area the conduction is occurring? It is occurring from the surface of this cylinder, right? It is not occurring in this direction. If it was occurring in this direction, we would consider this a plane slab, not a cylinder, right? A plane slab whose cross sectional area is equal to pi r square. Okay, so we are discussing this area. So this is our heat balance equation, Qg into AC into L equal to minus K into AS into dt by dx, where this AC will be the cross sectional area that we have discussed. To calculate this volume, you have to take the cross sectional area into length. Now coming to this area of heat transfer, so in plane slabs, as both areas were same, we just cancelled it out. But here we cannot cancel out these two areas because this will be the area of heat transfer. So from this cylinder, from the surface the heat transfer is occurring, right? So this is the surface, and from surface the heat transfer is occurring. Okay, so we have to take the surface area. So surface area for a cylinder will be what? It will be 2 pi r into L, right? Perimeter into length. So here we can write this Qg into pi r square into L, because this is the cross sectional area, will be equal to minus K into 2 pi r into L into dt by dr, right? This is not x because it's cylindrical coordinate, so it will be dt by dr. So you have to be very careful about this area, especially in cylinders and spheres, as this area is different, right? Let's consider some fluid is there surrounding this solid cylinder, right? So some fluid is surrounding this solid cylinder, and let's say the heat transfer coefficient for this fluid is H and the temperature of this fluid is T infinity. Temperature of this surface we know it is Ts. So this heat that is conducted from the surface of this cylinder, this heat will enter to this fluid, right? So in a steady state, this same amount of heat will enter to the fluid. So for convection in fluid, we can write this equation H into, again, the area of heat transfer will be what? Area of heat transfer will be 2 pi r into L, because convection will also occur from the surface area of the fluid, right? So it will be 2 pi r into L into the temperature difference, which is Ts minus T infinity, right? So this is our heat balance equation in case of solid cylinder. So you don't have to remember this equation, right? Don't try to mug up this whole equation. You have to learn how to write this equation, right? So after this lecture, you close your notes, you close your copies, and try to write this heat balance or energy balance equation in case of this solid cylinder. Then only you will be able to solve the gate problems, because in many gate problems they are just asking this heat balance only. So the questions are based on this heat balance only, and if you know how to balance the heat in case of solid cylinder, you will get 2 marks in gate, right? So this is our energy balance equation. So try to understand how to write this equation, don't try to mug up this.